So first, shout out to Jim Jones because he just released his album today.
In the video, didn't he?
Yeah.
Okay.
At the church's steps.
Check it out on Enveonline.com because Son of Jones will be posting it soon.
Already posted it.
Oh, see, that's something.
Album's already up on the website.
On his A game at all times. He's flooding it so much I can't keep up. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go check out Enveonline.com where we curate hip hop.
Yes.
But he's on his press run, so he's doing promo for the album, which he's supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
And Jim Jones stopped by the Breakfast Club. And I guess Charlamagne, sometimes he likes to instigate. And he brought up some comments where he kind of threw out there some words that Cameron used towards Jim Jones by saying, oh, you tricking people out your position. So Jim, you know how he is. He just flipped out. Man, I ain't never sent nobody to jail. You know what? F that. I'll box you right now. I'll box his head off. He's referring to Cameron. So Jim Jones pretty much called out Cameron on the Breakfast Club in front of all of New York. Pretty much said he'll box Cameron's head off or he wants to box him for $10 million. So pretty much he just threw the Dipset. Not just him, but Cameron too, because Cameron's not innocent in all this as well.
No, he's not.
They just threw the whole Dipset legacy in the trash. Because you don't hear the Locks talking about they want to box. You don't hear Andre 3000 and Big Boy talking about they want to box.
Nope.
And many other groups. You don't hear Wu-Tang, even though sometimes they're separated. So they just threw that legacy in the trash. So that's the context. What are your thoughts on our two drunk uncles fighting at the barbecue?
I think it's sad. I think it's very sad. Because I thought at this stage of their careers, I thought this would be done. But let me make this clear. When you look at that versus, that's why they got torched. Because they weren't on the same page. None of them were on the same page. Jewels, Jimmy, and Cameron. And they came up there to get a check. And that's what
they didn't love hip hop.
No. I mean, it's like you said,
they didn't love hip hop.
They came up there to get a check.
The Locks loved hip hop.
And it was like apples and oranges. And even though we loved a lot of their hits, they just weren't on point. They weren't on point. So it didn't look right. But the point not to switch subjects, to go back to that, I think it's sad that y'all still going at it. Y'all still going at it. At this stage, y'all still going at it. I don't understand what the point is. So I don't know what to say. I mean, at this point, y'all should have Dipset. There should be Bird Gang, Skull Gang. Well, I'm not going to. Let me put this: Bird Gang, Skull Gang. What is it? It is what it is. Talk show podcast. Yeah. I would say UN, but I don't want to get into that conversation because me and you both know I have mind that scenes. But the point I'm making is, they should have their movements and they should be doing what they're doing. You could do a whole Dipset tour and do it. But y'all so busy beefing. You see Joel stay out of it. He ain't got nothing to do with that. But I think it's just sad because, I hear Cameron talking. He's like, yo, you was a fan. And,
I'm going to get into that at the next segment.
Okay, I'll leave it alone. Let me just say this. I think it's sad. I think it's, and I understand that Jim is feeling a certain type of way because they was talking about him like he was a kid. So I know he probably wants to box him. But at this stage, you got to look at it like,
I'm going to get into Cameron. That's why I say he's not innocent.
Yeah. Like, like, what are you doing? Like, you got to find another way to end this situation where it's like, come on, man. Like, if you got a real problem with me, let's sit down and talk about it and we'll figure it out.
So that's the point where I'm going with my viewpoints on this. Respectfully, I don't want to hear neither one of them as grown 48-year-old men going on 50 talking about they want to box. A, we don't want to see it. Nobody wins from Dipset boxing. It just tarnishes the legacy of what we grew up off of. B, there's a famous viral clip of both of these dudes on stage. I guess they were in Canada performing. They were like in their 20s. They're so happy and gleeful. They started to do the patty cake. I know y'all like, what the hell's it? They were on stage. There's a viral clip of Cameron and Jim Jones doing the patty cake. Literally. Oh, do the patty cake. They dancing and twirling around as brothers. So I don't want to hear that who's from the Bronx and who's really from Harlem. Y'all really love each other. Y'all just got communication issues as grown men. Facts. Going to what you were saying. Yeah. Y'all don't know how to communicate properly, which a lot of men, sometimes we have problems with. And more importantly, y'all egos is too big to say I'm sorry.
Yeah.
See, me and my partner have been doing this a long time. There's been times that I've been wrong. I had to say, yo, I fucked up.
Yep.
It's been
Same
times
here.
he's been wrong,
Correct.
but we can correct each other and there's no ego involved.
Facts.
Yeah,
Yep.
I guess I got too much money to say I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So that's one issue for the Dipset dilemma. But the
Mm.
whole Jim Jones calling Cameron out, I'm going to put a pin in it because part 2 of this is another Dipset dilemma. And here's where Cameron comes up. We all love Cameron as the leader of Dipset. America's tuned into his podcast. It is what it is. But he's making more enemies than good.
Think so, huh?
He recently had some words in his last episode or a few episodes for Chad Ochocinco. I know you had to see that because that was viral.
Yeah, what?
So he made some comments. I'll give you out of context. Cameron on It Is What It Is made some comments because I guess they asked him his thoughts on Chad Ochocinco. So he went on a 2-minute rant about how he really doesn't F with him and, F him and he's stupid. I tried to offer him a job, but he went over there and started sucking off Shannon. This is what he's saying about Chad Ochocinco, who I'm going to put some context, has been a professional athlete his whole life. You really want to bark up this tree? A 6'1" former football player that looks like he's still in top shape?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep reiterating who Chad Ochocinco is from South Florida, from Miami. But hey, what do I know about football players being strong and fighting their whole life? Whatever. So it got back to Chad Ochocinco because Shannon brought it up, and he handled it gracefully. He said, "Look, I don't have no problem with him. It's all love, but I'm not hard to find. If you really got a problem with me, you can find me very easily."
Yeah.
Pretty much saying, it is what it is, pun intended. If I'm a sucker and I'm this, that, and the third, and you're calling me out my name, Chad Johnson is a man just as much as you is a man. So my thing with the Dipset dilemma and pinpointing Cameron not being innocent, you got Jim Jones wanting to knock your head off, which, whatever. But now you're talking reckless to a football player. Let me ask you something, and I mean this with all due respect. If those two run into each other, respectfully, what do you think Cameron's going to do to Chad Ochocinco?
Nothing.
I'm not saying Cameron can't fight.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he don't know how to scrap.
Yeah.
But there's a difference between throwing hands with people in the hood and throwing hands with the top 1%. Football players are the top 1% of athletes outside of soccer players, I think.
Yeah.
Chad spent 30 years keeping his body in tip-top shape, being what, 5% body fat?
Yeah.
He still looks ripped up.
Facts.
And don't get me with the whole, Cameron has an entourage. I'm pretty sure Chad got some people too.
Yeah.
So my thing with Cameron is
You go ahead.
You starting to let your mouth get you into some trouble that your popularity and your money's not gonna be able to get you out. I got a point, but I'm gonna let you go ahead before I throw my point down.
Well, I just wanted to say, like, yeah, you can't. Yo, you ever see Shannon Sharp?
Yeah.
Like
No.
he's in his 50s, and he still looks like he'll punch a hole through you. Do you understand what I'm saying? He looks in better shape than some people I know in their 20s. Hear what I'm saying? And he been out the league for years, but he kept himself always on point. What do you think? Chad Ochocinco's like,
they're the same age. They're like 40. He's like a year younger than Cameron, but you can look at Chad and see that he's still in shape.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't know. Good luck. Good luck. I mean, he offered him a job and he didn't want to take it. Yo, man.
That's one thing. And then the whole, he was hating on me. Look, let's be honest. That was friendly competition, Cam. They got a podcast. That's like somebody right now saying, yo, we got the better website than Enveonline. Okay. I'm not about to curse you out of your name and call you a sucker and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you just went extra with it.
Right.
So let me say this. Here's my friendly advice to Cameron. And I know he's rich. He got $100 million in the bank. So these words may fall on deaf ears.
Yeah.
But I was raised by a 6'3" man from Mississippi who instilled a certain level of morals in me and taught me how to be a man. Like, my father really had custody of me.
Right.
So here are my words to Cameron, and hopefully it heeds to him. Your popularity and your money is not a replacement for manhood.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this for the people in the back.
Right.
Being popular
Mm-hmm.
and having millions and millions of dollars does not replace manhood.
Mm.
What do I mean by that? You're not going to be able to brush your hair and freestyle your way out of an ass whooping.
Mm.
Because I know that, you know, when things get heated, he goes up there with the jewelry and I'm the cool popular kid at the lunch table. let me freestyle my way up out of this. Real grown men ain't gonna want to hear that.
Yeah.
He's starting to remind me of the cool kid at the lunch table in high school.
Yeah.
You know, there was always that popular kid back in high school that could do no wrong, that had all the girls.
Yeah.
You know, everybody said yes to.
Yeah.
But there came a point in his high school career that he actually got checked.
Mm-hmm.
And when he got his jaw rocked, that whole mystique and that whole aura went out the window.
Mm.
You know why? Because your popularity don't fight for you. Your popularity don't pump that heart.
Yeah.
Either you got it or you don't. And again, I'm not saying Cameron can't fight, but don't let your popularity and your money write you a check that you're not willing to back up.
Facts.
So hopefully he heeds these words, because if not, I don't want to see another True Life incident.
Oh God.
I don't want to hear I don't want to hear another incident, because that was, you know, I have to say allegedly so we don't get sued. But the industry said allegedly that True Life punched Cameron in the eye in front of his security. And True Life is nowhere the shape or the size of a Chad Ochocinco. So the popularity and the freestyling ability didn't help you when True Life punched Cameron in the eye. So I don't know what he's going to do against Chad Ochocinco.
Oh, God.
That's what the industry said. Hypothetically, allegedly. The industry said back in 2006 or 7, True Life in the Lower East Side ran down on Cameron while he was with his security and punched him in his face, and nothing happened. Nothing happened. Nothing happened to True Life after he punched Cameron in his eye. So I'm going to leave that there, because I think Chad Ochocinco is a lot bigger than True Life. And I'm going to leave that there. So that's the Dipset dilemma.
Okay.